Hello friends, welcome back to gabeiguess, the channel where I do whatever I want, say whatever I want, and you can't stop me. Today is a video about Reddit, or one specific subreddit titled AmITheAsshole, or AITA for short. If you are at all well versed in the YouTube commentary sphere, you've heard of this subreddit. AmITheAsshole is a subreddit where people submit things that have happened to them, and they want to get people's opinion on whether or not they were in the wrong. So an example of a story like this would be, oh, the day was my dad's funeral, and it started at 2 o'clock, and we were about to leave, and it was about 1 o'clock, but my wife wanted to walk our dog, and he needs to be walked once a day, and we wouldn't be back until like 11 p.m. and we wouldn't be able to walk him at 11 p.m. So my wife wanted to walk him, but we would have been late, and I told her that we couldn't walk him, and then the next day he couldn't walk and he died. Am I the asshole? Obviously they're not as insane as that, but I think you get the gist. I've got a couple Am I the Asshole stories loaded up on my screen right now, and we're just going to read them and discuss, because I like being nosy in other people's lives. The first one reads, Am I the asshole for telling my sister I won't let her see our dying mother? Most likely. I was born to a single mother who had my older sister, 32 female, who is actually my half-sister, from another man that she left when my sister was about 3 years old. At Christmas dinner, our entire family gathered, so we caught up. I have a really difficult but well-paying job, one that exhausts me, but having a single mother with no stable income of any kind, reliable job, etc. in the past, I've had to skip meals quite often, and I absolutely fear going back to that. So I've made clear that my goal is to keep the income I have right now at any cost. My sister was quick to comment that since I have a well-paying job, and possibly of a raise in the future, then I have to be the one who will entirely financially cover our mother's medical bills and needs towards the end of her life. It didn't sound like a joke. My mom is chronically ill and has always been. She has arthritis, psoriasis, and immunosuppressants, has had cancer, as well as being overweight and recently having had to go through surgery because her stomach was in terrible state. I supported her as much as I could, but these ridiculous amounts rack up quickly in cost. I had to borrow money, and it was hell to pay off. My sister never ever helped. I answered, you've never done shit for her before, and you still won't do shit for her when she needs you most. I'm tired of you acting like I or she owe you anything when you could never do anything yourself. She got extremely upset, at first telling me I was overreacting and that it was just logic, that I'd be the one paying for our mom. But it isn't the first time she's putting our mother's care in my hands and using us for money while she spends what little she has on restaurants and unnecessities. She then went off rails and started accusing my mother of never doing anything for her either, being a selfish woman, and many more things that upset everyone at the table. I outright told her to shut up and get out of the house, and added that considering I will be taking care of our mother, I won't be letting her see her again, even when time comes that she's on her deathbed. Damn. She told me to go F myself, that I was being unreasonable, etc. We haven't spoken since, but my grandma says she's still pissed at me and regularly talks shit about me. Wow. So to give a quick summary, this person has a very well-paying job, and their mother is currently in a very poor state. The sister wants him to pay for everything regarding her mother's medical bills, and instead of the sister helping by any means she can, she just spends all her money on whatever she wants, and the brother's like, hey, you don't do anything. Could you help? And she's like, well, it's just logic, you should help. And then the sister goes off on the mom, saying she never does anything for her either, and calls her selfish and all that. And then the person just outright says, shut up, get out of the house, and you're not going to be able to see the mother ever again, no matter what happens to her. As a person who also was raised by a single mother with financial struggles, I totally see where this person is coming from, and having a very well-paying job and finally being on your feet for by yourself is really rewarding and amazing. And also the love this person has for their mother is very, very strong, and I can see that. It is very, very clear to me in this story, on this side of how the story is being told, that the sister is very obviously the asshole. She's spending all her money on what she wants and never even a little bit for the mom. And then when someone finally calls her out on it, she gets all crazy about it and calls the mother a selfish woman for some reason, which is stupid. And apparently she's regularly talking shit about them. So yeah, this is a very clear, the sister is the asshole. The person writing this is not the asshole. There is an edit, so we're going to read that right now. Thank you to everyone for all the insight received. It's clear to me by your communication that I have too much unresolved resentment towards my sister and need to let it go. For info that's been asked, my mother lives with me full time. We don't have much access to aid as we live in a remote area, but I'll look for what I can find. My mom wasn't neglectful of us. I know not many agree or understand this, but I know my sister, and she's always been eccentric. When things don't go her way, she disowns us before calling us a week later again for money. It's tiring, and as I've said in the comment, my mom is still making up her mind about whether she wants to see my sister or not. Until then, I said I won't welcome her in my house. She can see her if she wants, but until my sister is ready to talk things out with me, I don't want her presence in my home. Again, thank you. I don't think this is unreasonable at all. I think this person has finally snapped on their sister. Apparently she's always been this way. And if you've ever been in a relationship with someone who is like this, who is constantly being selfish and asking you for things but never reciprocating it, it is extremely exhausting. I do like that this person rolled back the oh, you can't see the mom, because obviously you can't stop her from seeing her own mother. They have every right to, keep them away from the house. Obviously, this person is not the asshole. Am I the asshole for refusing to walk at graduation, attend my graduation party, or go on a graduation trip? I, 18 male, am a high school senior. To say that high school has been rough for me would be an understatement. It's been extremely stressful, with my hardest classes being required to graduate. It was so stressful that I decided that a stupid piece of paper with my name on it is not worth all this stress. As a result, I have decided to not acknowledge my graduation in any way, shape, or form. I do not want to walk at graduation. Both my parents and older sister are frustrated with me, and we've gotten into numerous arguments about it. The way I see it, it's my graduation, and I can go or not go if I see fit. Last September, when it was time for seniors to buy their caps and gowns, my mom gave me some money to buy it. When they weren't looking, I snuck the money back into her purse. This week is the time for seniors who are not walking to confirm that they are not, so I plan to do that. I also don't want a graduation party. This has somehow pissed off my parents more than me not walking, since my mom went all out with my older sister's graduation party, and she was really looking forward to doing that again. We've had a few arguments about that, but I eventually said that if they throw me a graduation party, I will not attend, and all gifts will be returned. They tried to compromise by saying that they'll just take me out to a nice dinner, but I've turned that down too, because it would still be celebrating my graduation. My parents plan to gift both me and my older sister a graduation trip to any place we choose. I have forfeited the trip, but they are refusing to take a hint. They've asked me on numerous occasions where I want to go, and I keep telling them I forfeit. You'd think that they would be happy that they wouldn't have to spend a whole bunch of cash on an expensive holiday, but I guess not. As you can imagine, no one is on my side. My older sister has been urging me to reconsider and saying that if I don't make the most out of my graduation, I'll regret it for the rest of my life. My grandparents have called me a brat and said that even if I do change my mind, they won't give me anything for my graduation after how I've been acting. My best friend has been pleading with me to reconsider, but I shut that down by saying that I won't go to his graduation party if he brings it up again. Okay, this guy has some crazy pent-up anger towards high school. At the first half of this, I was thinking, okay, you have every right to not want to walk. You don't have to. Like, if you really hate high school that much, the last thing you want to do is be reminded of that time in your life. So, of course, it makes sense if you don't want to walk. But his parents are offering him crazy gifts and stuff, celebrating like, hey, you made it through this crazy part in your life. You deserve a celebration. You deserve relaxation. You deserve to go on a trip. You deserve to give gifts. Like, I feel like if you hated high school that much and it was so stressful for you, you would want a celebration. You would want to feel like, oh my God, thank God that's over. Let's celebrate. Like, oh my gosh, I did that. It sounds like this guy just hates everything. That's like the vibe I'm getting from this. It sounds like he's just a huge bummer. You know what I mean? And for him to say, I'm not going to go to your graduation party if you keep bringing it up, like, that's really controlling. Like, obviously his best friend wants the best for him and wants to be like, hey, dude, maybe you should, let your parents know that you appreciate them and take them up on this offer to go to wherever you want. Like, that's crazy. Like, why would you not want to do that? What happened in high school? I feel like, yes, high school is stressful. I hate high school. I totally understand it. It is super stressful. But of course, if I graduated, I would feel so relieved that it's over and feel so proud of myself for getting over that hurdle. I get it if you hate high school, but he's being really dramatic. I don't say he's the asshole, because I don't think anyone's really the asshole in this situation. I think he just needs to kind of breathe, because what is going on? Like, next one. Am I the asshole for telling my mom that I will never trust her with future relationships? Ooh. I, 26 male, told my mom, 67 female, about a year ago that I could not trust her when it came to any future relationships. My mom and I had been talking about a trip where I had met a woman. My mom then asked if there were any plans for her to visit so she could meet her. I decided to be upfront and told her I wasn't sure if I would introduce anyone to her. When she asked why, I told her that due to how she treated my last partner, I did not feel I could trust her with any future relationships. She went to her room in tears. I've gone on so many dates since then and never mentioned any of them to my mom. She thinks I haven't dated anyone for the last 4 years. In reality, she is simply the only one I don't tell. I do tell my dad and sisters, asking they do not share with mom. Now for some context on my mom's behavior in long-term relationships. I dated Amy, fake name, for 6.5 years. My mom was great in the first year, showing interest in Amy and trying to bond with her. After that first year, Amy was kicked out of her family's house, and my dad let her move into my room without charging us or anything. Mom and dad live separately. Okay. Amy lived in my room for about 8 months until she moved out. The whole time my mom complained about everything Amy did or did not do. At first, she only complained about me, but then moved on to complaining about Amy herself. The complaining became such an issue that Amy and I decided she was better off getting her own place, where I soon joined after. After moving out, my mom found other things to complain about. She blamed Amy for us moving out and also being the reason we were barely able to afford renting a place. She started making comments about how Amy was gaining weight to our faces. We both were due only affording cheap food. Calling her a druggie to me when she overheard my sister and Amy talking about weed, and a faker when she got injured in an accident and couldn't work. Jesus Christ, this mom has really serious resentment towards this girl. Eventually, it escalated to the point where, due to my mom's disrespect, I told her to stay away from Amy and I. Here is the worst incident. Amy joined me to help Dad unload some furniture. We were surprised to find my mom also there. At one point, I left Amy with my mom for about 30 seconds to help my dad. When I came back, my mom had an oddly large grin on her face while Amy was silent. After we left, Amy burst in tears. She told me she couldn't tell what my mom had said to her, as she didn't want to ruin the relationship between my mom and I. Half a decade later, I still don't know what she said. What? This is insane. Oh my god, what did she say? Amy was not perfect, but my mom had crossed the line multiple times. We tried to talk to my mom about respecting Amy, and even went no contact with her due to her behavior. Problem is that my mom is in the early stages of dementia. She retains most of her memory, but many of the situations I've mentioned she claims didn't happen. This makes holding her accountable a problem. Am I the asshole? This is crazy. So the ending where she mentions the dementia kind of explains the first paragraph of how she burst into tears when he wouldn't tell her about anything, which is really unfortunate because she probably genuinely just does not remember all this stuff. But obviously that does not excuse her actions. This is ridiculous. You see this in a lot of obsessive boy mom tropes where they just completely berate and bully the girlfriend every step they take, calling her druggy when she overheard his sister and Amy talking about weed, saying they were gaining weight to their faces because they could only afford cheap food, calling her a faker when she got injured. That's insane. And then she apparently said something behind their back and Amy didn't say anything because she didn't want to ruin the relationship. Amy just seems like a really sweet soul, and this mom just hates her for some reason ever since they moved in. I don't think we should be trying to hold her accountable anymore now that she has early stages of dementia and she doesn't remember it. So it would kind of sound to her if he's just attacking her with random things that didn't happen even though they did. I think it's about time to just let it go. I think we should try to restart the relationship with your mother now that she's getting older, and she's, the last thing she needs right now is for you to stop talking to her. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone's really the asshole. Well, obviously the mom is the asshole in the majority of this text, but now I think it's time to wipe a clean slate and revamp the relationship between you and your mother, because I don't think holding her accountable is really going to work anymore. So yeah, that's my take. What do you guys think? Leave it down in the comments. Am I the asshole for guilting my family about sleeping arrangements for our trip? My family are all staying at my parents' next month, and my 2 siblings are all insisting they can't share rooms with their children. Okay. One sibling wants 3 rooms. One for them, one for their 5-year-old, and one for their 3-year-old. The other sibling said that they need one for them, then one for their 9-month-old, as they won't sleep in a cot in the same room as their parents now she's transitioned to his own room at home. Therefore, this means that the parents are saying that they will just sleep on the sofa and give their room to my sister, which I feel is ridiculous, as one of the little ones will be in a crib in a room with an unused double bed. I am staying in a hotel nearby with my child and husband, as our little one doesn't sleep well and we don't want to be the reason everyone is woken up. I told them this is ridiculous, and somebody should share a room with their child, as my poor parents in their 70s shouldn't be sleeping on the sofa. I agree. They think I don't understand, but I'm being an asshole by guilting them. I'm not staying there, so I shouldn't have an opinion. Therefore, am I the asshole? Note, this is only for 2 nights. One sibling wants 3 rooms. One for the sibling and their significant other, one for their 5-year-old, and one for their 3-year-old. The other sibling wants one for them and their significant other, and then one for their 9-month-old, because the 9-month-old just transitioned to sleeping in their own room at their house. So the parents decide they'll sleep on the sofa and just give their room to their sister, which is insane. I don't understand. This is really dumb. No, they should 100% share rooms. This is a really stupid situation. They're going to go into their parents' house and just hijack their room. No, share a room with their child. Why do you need 2 other rooms for your 5-year-old and 3-year-old? They're 5 and 3. They can share a room. There is an edit. It says, okay, it's clear to me I'm not being ridiculous by suggesting room shares, and I'm not the asshole. I'm going to just enjoy my hotel and sleep soundly and sit back and stay out of it. Probably the best idea, but you should probably bring up hey, that's kind of stupid. You shouldn't be forcing our parents, because these are your siblings. You should be hey, you shouldn't be forcing mom and dad to sleep on the sofa. That's their house. Make your kids share a room. Are you crazy? Last one is, am I the asshole for freaking out to my mom about joking about a past birthday? It's really long and convoluted, but I'll try to add context. I had a birthday party from when I turned 10. My birthday was on a Sunday, but we had made the party Saturday. It was a good party, but on the day of my birthday, little 10-year-old me thought my family would do something special too. Something small, because I knew I had a party, but they acted like normal. I thought since it was my birthday, I didn't have to go to church, but my mom forced me me to go because this was just another ordinary day. I had a mental breakdown on my birthday that year. I locked myself in my aunt's rooms and sobbed hella loud. I often look back at this as cringe and gross, but I was an undiagnosed autistic girl, so I can understand that I was just a kid. My family always poked fun about that day and how silly of me it was to cry about not feeling special. I've talked to my mom about how them joking about it makes me uncomfortable, and she's agreed that as long as it stays lighthearted, it's fine. Anyways, so yesterday my mom, 49, and aunt planned this small birthday celebration for me, and it was nice, up until the not feeling special incident was brought up. I, 21, didn't mind at first because yeah, it's whatever, but then my mom kept bringing it up, and she was laughing the loudest. I got kind of upset because my mom knows how intense my emotions get, and she knows I don't like that memory. I tried to be chill for the rest of the gathering. I thanked everyone for coming and for the presents. When my mom drove us home, I just couldn't contain my frustration, and I lashed out on her about how she took it too far, and that she knew that memory was tough for me, yet she was the one laughing the loudest in my face. I said that I felt like she didn't validate my feelings, and how she can be insensitive with me when she's with family. I was crying a lot because it was honestly humiliating, and when I tried defending myself, they just repeated what I said in a mockingly manner. My mom started to cry and say that she didn't mean to hurt me and that she didn't want me to cry. Now, today is February 9th. Tomorrow's my birthday, and I don't know what to feel. I hate myself for making my mom cry, for making her feel like a bad mom, and for hurting her. I feel like a monster and like I ruin everything. I don't know what to do. I was kind of excited for tomorrow. I haven't been excited about a birthday for a while. But now everything feels horrible. I think I'm the asshole. I sincerely do. But I don't know. I need someone to explain to me what I can do to fix this. This is long and convoluted. Outside looking in, someone will typically say it's just like a little joke. It's not that serious. But the small exposition of autism being in play is very important. It's very common in people with autism to have very complex emotions. That's like one of the main symptoms. And obviously this moment in her life was really rough for her, and the constant jokes about it are not helping. And even after everything, after telling her mom that she wasn't comfortable with it, she kept doing it, which is obviously at the mom's fault. And then she lashed out on her finally, and the mom started to cry and apologize, didn't mean to hurt her. But now she feels really guilty. Now the poster feels really guilty about it. I think this all just comes down to a long talk with your mother. Obviously, she is the semi-asshole. I don't think she's an asshole, but you know, like that situation was a little silly, and obviously people are going to joke about it, but it's very serious to you, and the mother did not respect your emotions and did not respect what you told her a million times, and it did take a lashing out for her to finally realize that. It just comes down to setting boundaries. I don't think anybody's the asshole in this situation. I think it's just family drama, family matters. She should just respect you more. Your mother just needs to respect your wishes a little bit more. If you say you don't want her to say something, she shouldn't say it. And that's all that matters. You're not the asshole. She's not an asshole. It's a little convoluted, but just talk. It'll be fine. Well, that wraps up today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and be on the lookout for my new song, Hunting Season, coming out February 21st. More info will be on my music channels and my music social media, so check those out, linked in the description. As for now, this is Gabe signing out. See ya.